get to sit side by side with and write. I mean, and it's amazing. And everyone's different. They all hold their workshops a little differently, but we all get things from it. And this was a poem that I got from one of them, and it was called The Fitter. And it says, no connection between us. I close the door. We sit opposite. Language of time. Wounds, drains, swelling. Sometimes we chat, share war stories. She takes off her blouse. She is a lumpectomy. She is a bilateral. She is a radical. Always a mastectomy. She is young. She is old. It is her first. It's been 20 years. Pink measuring tape, pen, and file, we start. I can do it by eye, but professionalism for comfort. New bra dressed. She tries on forms. Tear, triangle, heart. Too much flesh here, not enough there. Form secure in pocket. She dresses. Sitting, I chart. Size, color, nipple. Together we wade through cost, insurance, responsibility, policy, paperwork, privacy. She stands, swallow hard, all the doctors, medicine, and surgeries to this. A silicone breast, pocketed in a bra, under her blouse, for comfort, for balance, for normal.
That's very, very emotional. So, do you want to read another one?
Sure.
You have 100 there.
I do. I will be like, my family has to endure all this. So. It's all right, but I will become the J.K. Rowlings of the poetry community.
Christmas dinner at your family.
That's right, in Hicksville, only there. The Knish, 8th grade, dieting, at parents' request, lunchtime, lame paper bag, or golden fried knish, a plastic knife cuts, steam rises from the soft potato filling. Having a 14-year-old palate, I dip in ketchup. With the last bite, I notice black spots. Oh my God, I've been poisoned. As I lie in the hospital ER, I see my parents standing over me. My mother softly crying. I whisper, I cheated. Families and friends break down at the funeral, gathering around my headstone, reading. It was only peppercorns, stupid.
Oh, that's very good. So, can you name some of the places that you've read at?
I've read at the Walt Whitman Birthplace, the Huntington Book Review, the Belmore Library,
Gazebo?
the Gazebo. No, I've never read at the Gazebo. I've never read at the Gazebo.
Even I've read there, but not poetry.
Yes. Barnes & Noble, Borders, airplanes, bathrooms, public restrooms.
I saw you there, yes.
That's right.
You were quite good.
The lunchroom at my old job. Anywhere, my bedroom, I read to all the people there. I wonder as rise. I'm fabulous there, absolutely fabulous.
Okay, the next step after you write, read, is possibly publish. Do you have any ideas about publishing? Any knowledge about how best to go about publishing your poems?
There's a book called The Writer's Market, the Poet's Writer's Market's book, and it is fabulous. I actually brought it with me. They put it out every year, and it gives you every magazine imaginable, every university magazine, everything, where to publish, who will take hard copy publishing, who will take emails, electronics, submissions. It'll tell you what they look for, what kind of genre of poetry, whether it be a form poetry or a type, or maybe, about mothers or breast cancer or, houseflies, whatever it is. They're very distinct, and it gives you all those clues because you need all that. It tells you query letters and writing manuscripts, and
So it's
how to-
basically
everything you
basically
could
this,
remember.
the
It's
same thing that you go through when you write anything. If you want, it's submissions, submissions, submissions.
even
and
the style of
following
writing.
Following the submission guidelines. I imagine that a lot of them direct you to a website, and the website will give you the submission guidelines, and you go from there. Isn't there, there's also a magazine, Poetry Writers?
Poets and Writers is
Poets and
a
Writers.
very good magazine. It's also backed, sometimes the government, they have grants and stuff, and they do have paid poets to read and stuff, different venues. But yeah, that's very important. There's a lot of magazines out there. Poets and Writers is one of the best, though, and then there's Poets. It's also a very excellent magazine. But you need to, beyond that, is really try to get to some place where you get to see something live. Reading it and writing is all good, but seeing it live, it really helps, because it not only gives you ideas, but it makes you, there's a community that really, it's important. It's like a good foundation. You're going to plant something, and you really want to, it doesn't happen right overnight. I remember, like, when I first started writing, I wrote like 25 poems after months, and I was like, oh my God, I have to find out how to copyright all this stuff, because I know that someone is going to steal my writing. They're going to, it's like you're so worried you need to get it published, and then you look back at these poems and you're like, oh my God, someone should steal them.
I know. But so then, actually, the suggestion is to submit to magazines, and then if they publish, you have kind of a portfolio of successes, rather than like to try to self-publish a book of poems.
And two, there's so many, it's Facebook and all, all social medias, but you can really, really find a lot of places locally, especially if you're island in New York State. It's a huge community.
Yes.
And there's plenty of contests and writers' little workshops that you can go to that they have on weekends if you work, and evenings. There's plenty of that. And there's also different people where you can get connected with, like blogs where they list all the poetry events, workshops that go on, contests that you can try your hand at.
So your computer is your best friend.
Yeah.
Just go on.
And go on. But besides your computer and, writing yourself, the other thing is really getting to someplace, to be able to be around some, other people that do the same thing. Because, even if you don't want to share, just to listen, just to, to get that foot in, so you get comfortable with it. And there are plenty of places that, when you're ready, you can either come and feature, or you can come up and open read, which is lovely too.
So my last question, because we just have a few seconds left actually, is what's your goal with your poetry?
I wrote a chapbook last year, and my goal is I'd like to have it done by the fall. I'm working with somebody to have it published. It's a chapbook called Fat, and it's 30 poems in 30 days, and it was all about, being overweight, getting trapped in Macy's, and and being stuck in
fitting room
with clothes that are too tight and have 2 Tic Tacs, and that's what you're going to survive on.
I look forward to it.
Thank you.
So, one word of advice for poets?
Write and get out there, because you never know. You may be fabulous.
Thanks so much, Mary.
It's a pleasure, truly a pleasure.
It was fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was fun. So you don't agree with this guy, huh?
It's very